This is a special presentation from News Channel Nebraska.
Everybody to Kearney, Nebraska for the Kearney Cruise Night. My name is Jake Bartecki. Seated to my right is Josh Sykes. This is an event that's been going on for a number of years. It's a car show and it's a parade. Josh, thanks for being here. We appreciate you, my friend.
Thank you. We're really grateful you guys are here.
Yeah, so you have been a part of this for, as you were telling me before you went on the air, about over 10 years. So tell me a little bit about what we're going to see tonight, what Cruise Night is, and why it's so important to the Kearney community.
So Cruise Night started 36 years ago with just a car show and a dance on a Saturday. And it's evolved to Cruise Night Week. We have events every night starting from Tuesday and ending tomorrow. What you'll see tonight here at the parade, everything from Model A's, Model T's, up through modern muscle cars. You'll see some special interest cars, classic fire trucks. Just, if you can imagine it, you're probably going to see it here.
Yeah. So this has obviously been going on for a long time. Central Nebraska Auto Club has been a big part of it. So tell me a little bit about their impact on it and their involvement.
So Central Nebraska Auto Club, car club here. It's we've got, I can't remember how many years we've been active, but it's been more than 40. We've got probably 50 years in age range from the members, and so that brings a lot of knowledge. The community supports each other, and the cars, working on them, sharing ideas on them. And then the cruise night, through this event, we raise quite a little bit of money that in turn gets donated at the end of the year to different groups like the Goodfellows, or the United Way, groups that need some funding, especially around the Christmas time. And so this last year, I think it was about $10,000 that we had donated, that we raised through this event.
Well, we look down the street and we do see some of the parade beginning, but how about how many people are here? I mean, 33,000 is the population of Kearney, but I think there's going to be more than that here tonight to come see this parade.
Right. Downtown, we estimate 15 to 20,000 people come through to look at the cars on a Saturday. Sure. Now that's people outside of Kearney, obviously, but a lot of people from out of town. I mean, this is a big weekend that, for almost 4 decades has been tradition in Central Nebraska.
Yeah. So I know this starts off with a little bit of a procession, so what are we going to expect here in the first couple of minutes of the parade?
So the first couple of minutes, Kearney Police Department is doing our color guard. We will have Patriot Riders, we'll have first responders, and then we'll probably see 300 cars come through. It'll last about an hour.
Gotcha. Well, we do see some of the first cars making their way down. We'll now take a look at a package by one of our News Channel Nebraska reporters to tell us a little bit more about the Kearney Cruise Night.
People in Kearney are smiling after more than 100 classic cars participated in an event meant for senior citizens. It's been years since Cruise Night added this event, and Joshua Sykes, vice chair for the committee for the Cruise Night, recollects how the event originated.
Coordinators of the nursing homes reached out and said, we have a lot of people that cannot make it. They're just not mobile enough. And so they asked if we could maybe do something to bring the cars to them.
And they did. Now every year people just show up with their cars just to bring a smile on their faces.
When you watch the people as you drive through, if some veterans, if they see an old Jeep, they light up. If they see a Model A, they light up. If they see a 50s Ford convertible, they light up, and it stirs a lot of memories and a lot of emotions.
Stan Staff owns a 1936 Ford Model 68 5-window coupe. This is his third year going through the route and says it's a special.
Because to me it's one of the highlights of Cruise Night Week, where we get to give a special treat to the folks out there in the nursing home, assisted living people, and they're so excited about these cars. You see everything here.
The tour goes past Kearney Senior Living Homes, city parks, and then ends at the Peterson Senior Center. Sykes says it's more than just an event.
The people that are at those homes really appreciate it. It's just nice being able to contribute to the community like this.
After more than 2 hours of the tour, it concluded at the Senior Center with ice cream and live music. In Kearney, Ana Ruth Lugo Mejia, New Channel, Nebraska.
All right, we are back. So we apologize for some of the technical difficulties, but Josh and I are back. We're having the time of our lives. We got to see a bunch of burnouts right in front of us, and Josh loved that.
Yeah.
But we're back, so talk a little bit, Josh, about what we've seen so far.
So we've seen a lot of modern muscle cars. We've seen some 55 Chevys come through, some Nomads, some Firebirds, just a variety of classic fire trucks, Kearney Fire Department. We're seeing the Bandit Firebird right now.
Yeah. Now, one of the things you and I were talking about is the percentage of cars here that people may have bought original and people took the time to restore. You said there's a lot of restoration here.
Yeah, there is. I mean, if you think about the age of most of the classic cars, the chances of it not having something repaired or redone in that time frame pretty slim. So you're seeing a lot of, it could have been my dad bought this, took good care of it, I got it, we put a new paint job on it, and we drive it.
Yeah.
You could see some that potentially are survivors. They're the rarity.
Yeah.
And then you see a lot of stuff that people have gotten as a shell or pulled out of a barn, and it took them 15 years to build.
Sure. We also talk about the other thing is how much work goes into maintaining one of these, because obviously with an older car, it's harder to find the right parts for it. It's harder to match up the paint and that kind of stuff. So it's got to be a lot of work to maintain a classic car like we've seen.
You know, it is. The hardest thing on them is they sit so much. So they'll
Sure.
sit all winter, sometimes a year or two. So now you've got stale fuel and oils been contaminated from the atmosphere. It's just, that's tough on them. I mean, people will be like, man, I just put new tires on this. Why do they keep going flat? Well, they're 10 years old. They
Right.
don't think about that.
One, the less you drive it, the less you probably need to do those kinds of routine maintenance, oil changes and tires and all that kind of stuff.
You should still do them oil changes at least annually.
Right.
Tires over 5 years really aren't safe. Depends what you do with the car.
Yeah. Let's see, we've got, looks like a Corvette followed by a newer Chevy Silverado.
Right, that's a 2014 or 15 Silverado there. So one of the things to remember, this is about car enthusiasts. You don't have to have a Model A or a 60s muscle car to be a car enthusiast. And I think that if people try to box in what a car enthusiast should be, the hobby would die out.
Yeah. Well, somebody that loves their 2015 Silverado will do
Exactly.
everything to make it a classic car, you know,
Yeah.
later down the road, like some of these we're seeing, like this Camaro in front of us.
Yeah, and there's so much truth to that. So it's a generational thing. So like my grandfather would have wanted to build a hot rod. He would have built a 30 Ford that he drug out of something and put a flathead V8 in it and built a hot rod. Well, later he might have driven a 55 Chevy new that his kid got in high school to drive. Well, now his kid's grandpa, he wants a 55 Chevy like he drove in high school.
Sure.
So that's what his interest is.
How did you get into cars so much? Was it your
Oh.
dad, grandfather?
All the above. I grew up in the hobby. So grandpa always had cars. He liked Packards, like 30s through 40s Packards. My dad liked 60s Mustangs, early 60s Impalas. I like all of them. So
I think when I think of classic car, early 50s, early 60s Impala is what I click to normally.
sure.
Or an old Corvette.
Yep, a lot of people like the Vets. They're very unique. A lot of people are Vet fans.
Yeah. 98.9 the vibe. There they are coming by. Our Kearney Cruise Night Parade is brought to you in part by court-appointed special advocates for children, and that is the Kearney and Buffalo County CASA, making this broadcast possible. Again, my name is Jake Bartecki. Josh Sykes seated to my right. 24th and Central Street in downtown Kearney for the Cruise Night Parade. And we've had some really neat cars and some nice displays and everything.
Yeah, it's been a tremendous parade. But the show and shine down here today, we were right at 500 cars. So great turnout, great weather. Just a good day for a car show and parade.
I think we see one of those Impalas, is that right, coming towards us?
Yeah, that's right. So in front, this was a black and white 55 Bel-Air. Coming up behind it is a 62 Impala convertible.
See, I like the Bel-Air. That's what I always click to when I think of classic cars.
Yeah, yeah. So, I mean, just right here, you've got a 60s Impala, a 70s Camaro, and a 20-ish Dodge.
And a loud engine.
And a loud engine. And I think it's really cool, like with the classic muscle cars versus the modern muscle cars. They did a really good job. All three, Ford, Dodge, Chevy, did a really good job trying to get that muscle car appearance when they redesigned for the Challengers, the Mustangs, the Camaros. They did a really good job with that.
Even Corvettes. I think those newer Corvettes are beautiful cars. Those Stingrays.
Yeah, they're pretty sweet.
Now, it seems like most of the cars we've been seeing have been primarily American. I think we saw 180s.
Yeah, you know, there were some Subarus that came through. Some of the, I think they're Australian Fords came through. So, and, you know, just, again, I don't want to try to say you have to have a Mustang to be a classic car enthusiast. You know, it can be whatever excites you, I guess.
Yeah, whatever the hobby leads you to.
That's right.
Again, this is the Kearney Cruise Night Parade 2023 edition, live from Kearney, Nebraska, and the parade again presented by CASA, and that is the court-appointed Special Advocates for Children out of Kearney and Buffalo County. This is the first time I've spent a lot of time in Kearney in this area, Josh. I played at Warry Dunes this morning, the golf course, and I really like this area in this town. It's a nice little spot here.
Yeah, I love Kearney. I was raised here. I was born here. I raised my children here. It's a great community, a lot of opportunity here. Kearney's growing between all the downtown businesses, UNK, all of the different opportunities that Kearney and Buffalo County provide for families here. Just a really great community.
Well, UNK's been doing some great things, especially in their athletic program.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Looks like we've got the Super Mario Brigade coming at us. That's the first, I think, costumes we've seen throughout the parade so far in the first 30-ish minutes, 25 minutes.
Yeah, typically in this parade, it's just the cars, and that's kind of fun to see.
And they do have a Camaro.
They do have a Camaro.
Yep, but I don't know if the car is their calling card, if you will.
I think Mario Brothers is.
So I'd say the Mario Brothers probably are, yeah. Behind them, a Camaro, and it looks like an old school Mustang.
Yeah, that's a 67 Camaro and a 70 Mustang, and then it looks like about a, I don't know, 2004, 2008 Trans Am. We got a 64 Impala SS, then the gold one's a 63 Impala SS. I'm not for sure what the motorcycle is.
And this first Impala you saw just cut out of your screen there, I mean, that's a perfect example of talking about just a car that is from the 60s. I mean, we're talking pushing 60 years old that looks like it was rolled off the lot yesterday.
Yeah. And that's one of those that could be a survivor car. It's just really, really nice.
And here's one of those Stingrays, newer Corvettes we were talking about. See, I mean, it's a different form of what a Corvette is, but with the spoiler on the back, the bigger tires, I'm really a fan of those.
A lot of people are. That's why they cost so much.
No kidding. No kidding.
Those Broncos, like what you're seeing now, the popularity of those has just skyrocketed. When Ford came out with the new Bronco, that really takes a lot of styling cues from the original Bronco. That's just that's a good-looking car right there. But the new Broncos are pretty amazing too.
Well, and they can do a lot of different things too with different drivetrains and all that. Did those new Broncos coming up increase value of older Broncos, you think?
I think so, because I think it drew attention to them. And the old Broncos have always been popular,
Sure.
but I think the new model Bronco definitely helps the popularity of them.
And there we see a blue GTO.
Yeah.
Youngsters having some fun at the Cruise Night Parade.
And then behind it's a 67 Mustang. And then we've got a newer Mustang, Shelby Mustang.
What year would you estimate that one? 2015-ish?
Probably a 2022.
Newer, really?
Yeah, real new. And the camera now is a 67 Camaro, followed by a probably a 2000s Corvette. And then the retro design T-Bird that Ford came out with behind that yellow Camaro, that yellow Corvette. These were really a unique thing. They did a good job trying to replicate the original 55 T-Bird, and they hit it pretty good.
Yeah. And that color, I think, is a good look on a T-Bird. I mean, you look at a lot of them, you see white, black, red. I think that tealish aqua color is nice.
Yeah,
unique.
We saw a lot of them in the 60s, that color.
Sure.
And then we got monster trucks.
How about that? That's different. That's the first monster truck I think we've seen.
Yeah, the kids love them. My grandboys, when they saw that, we almost couldn't get them to leave after that. They just wanted to stand there and stare at it.
Well, the wheels were probably taller than they were.
Oh, definitely they were. They're 4 and 5.
There you go. Looks like we have the Indianapolis 500 pace car coming at us.
Yep, so they make so many of those, limited edition, and that'll be something that'll definitely be a collector. That'll go up in value in time.
Yeah, 2015, so that was the 99th, I believe it says on the side of the Indy 500. The only one that might be more collectible, the 100th.
Maybe.
2016.
So you're looking at
screen, yeah.
Early 60s, probably a 62, 63 Oldsmobile. Very similar to the Impalas, with just that full size.
Yeah.
Kind of a luxury car, but definitely sporty too.
Yeah. White stripe down the side and the doors. This might be the first purple car we've seen.
Yeah, that's a good look at a Monte Carlo. And sometimes people just build them for fun. They not trying to win car shows. They just take an old Model A and slap a V8, put some decent brakes on it, and go have fun.
Hey man, a hobby's a hobby.
Yeah.
Some people race cars, some people show cars, some people build them.
I think the majority of the miles of my classic cars are putting around town eating ice cream.
Is that a lot of miles on them then?
Yeah, I put a lot of miles on them. To me, you own them to drive them, so.
Yep. So are you a collector at all, or you just have cars that you just kind of use, or do you collect cars and still use them?
Both. We collect them and use them.
So what's the crown jewel of your collection?
I've got a 1952 Suburban.
Okay.
That's kind of a retro rod thing. It's got the small block in it, an automatic AC, leather captain.
And what year did you say that was? 55?
52.
52. Very nice. You might have to show me a picture of that one after we get off the air.
I'll do that.
Ford Falcon, it looked like.
Yep, probably a 62, 63, somewhere in there.
You know the years, too, and that's what I find impressive. Just memorizing which year or the ballpark range of which they are.
Well, I grew up in the hobby, and Dad owned a shop. I grew up in the shop working on them, restoring them.
That'll put it in your memory.
Yeah, it does. Kind of ingrains it to you.
There's a newer Corvette as well.
Yeah. I thought he was going to start this.
Well, we have a pickup truck with parrots on it as well.
Yeah. I don't think they like the dragster behind
I
them,
don't
but
think they would. It looks like that's called a wrench. The big old Hoosier rubber on the back.
I couldn't hear you.
I said there are some big old Hoosier rubber tires on the back.
Yeah, that needs it to hook up.
Yep. Hoosier rubber, obviously very popular in the dirt racing world.
That's right.
Of course, this is the Kearney Cruise Night Parade, and it is brought to you in part by CASA, court-appointed special advocates for children out of Kearney and Buffalo County. Doorless Jeep,
Well, they have doors, but they come off easy.
they do. Have you ever driven in one of those? There's a door. Right, well, you've got to leap ahead on me then by a lot, because I've never been in one of those.
Oh, really?
No.
Yeah.
I'm
so
sure it's a thrill.
it's a lot of fun. Ours is lifted, 35-inch tires, and it's kind of like driving a step ladder around town. You hope it doesn't fall over, and but it's fun. They're a
Comes with
lot of
risk.
fun. Yeah.
Black, white, and red pickup truck. Old Chevy.
Ford Galaxy ragtop. Those things are so popular, and they're such a good-looking car.
What year do you estimate that one?
66, 65.
66?
I could be off, but
Well, do we have a couple more cars, or is that it,
I think
Josh?
that's the end of the. Well, no, it looks like there's.
I was
going
going
to
to say, we got to have a couple of more. We got to have a few more.
They don't really feel pressured to get through the parade.
Sure.
So. And then we do have to allow for traffic there a little bit.
Absolutely. So there you see a couple more. We'll see them come into frame a little bit better, but
Both Firebird.
yeah. And then is that the one at the back's the Pontiac? Is that the Firebird in the back?
Yep, they're both Pontiac Firebirds.
All right, the Firebird duo.
And I think closing it out is Kearney Police Department.
Well, appreciate them being out here as well.
Oh, those guys have been tremendous. We can't express how much we appreciate KPD. They've been tremendous for us. They're throughout like the nursing home tour. They run traffic control for us, try to make sure we stay safe. Down here, they help with just keeping the area closed for us. They help with just monitoring, keeping everybody safe, making sure traffic.
Okay.
Or do we? Good.
I think we do have a couple more cars. We just were told in our ear. There's some people are.
Yeah, there could be. So, and some of these might be people pulling out, didn't think they were part of the parade.
Now, looks like we do have a couple more. Looks like we have another one of those retro Corvettes, and that's the one. Unless that's the one we saw earlier.
It is. He's coming through again. And then that's that 70 Mustang convertible.
So tell me about this Corvette. I mean, obviously, is that a special custom edition? You've got the Stingray logo on the front.
I'm not super familiar with the brand new Corvettes. I know there's plenty of different options you can order them with.
And our Kearney Cruise Night Parade brought to you in part by the court-appointed special advocates for children out of Kearney and Buffalo County. 24th and Central in downtown Kearney for the 2023 Kearney Cruise Night Parade. And looks like that is going to do it. That might have been, I guess that was the last one. We got to see four more twice, Josh.
That's right.
We did. Well, Josh, we appreciate you coming on the broadcast and your expertise of everything going on in the car world. I like to think I'm a car guy. I follow racing. I try to keep up with what's going on in the vehicle and car world, but you were excellent tonight. We appreciate you.
Well, thank you for the opportunity. Thanks for covering our parade.
You betcha. From 24th and Central in downtown Kearney, this has been the Kearney Cruise Night Parade on News Channel Nebraska. We'll return to regularly.
We now join regular programming on News Channel Nebraska.